Hello everyone, and welcome back to the stream. If you can hear that sound, I have my fan going because it decided to get hot in here, this house. And yeah, I got the Japanese version of FireRed and Leaf Green. It's fun. Um, just been playing FireRed a little bit off camera, having fun. And I found out something interesting. Unless it's just something they did. But if you're playing it in handheld mode, it actually doesn't do the whole how I mentioned how okay, I'll get back to that. Anyways, previously we bought a lot of hyper potions. We defeated Sabrina. Left the gym. Don't know why that's a separate mark. Kind of weird. Um. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. And then I departed this fighting dojo. Now, if I recall, yeah, I set up shop here, and we're going to go take on the bridge. I'm gonna take on the bridge, and then we're gonna go to the other place. Anyways, as I was saying, so I think because I haven't played like the English version, but I was playing the Japanese version. I noticed since I was playing in handheld mode. Right now, obviously, I'm playing with a controller. I noticed that it doesn't do the thing where the cross pad essentially swaps out the different ones. Which is interesting because if you play it on handheld, the cross pad on the left still does movement, while the joystick does nothing. Wish there's a way you could adjust it so that you can choose which one you want, which way you prefer it. So yeah, as I said, we're gonna head down, have a lovely little bike stroll down this place. And then once we're done with that, our next goal is we're gonna take on Koga. I'm not messing with the route on the other side to get to Fuchsia. Because I don't want to. Now, if I okay, let's put it this way. Mostly, I don't need to, and unlike the rocket stuff where if you don't do it now, you can't get it at all. That's why I ended up doing that, and like a lot of this other stuff. But since I don't actually have to go the other route, and since I don't have to go to the route at all, I'm skipping it. If for some reason I need if for some reason I need more levels, I'll go to those extra routes to get stuff. And if you're wondering why did I do the route right by Vermilion when it's not required, because I felt like it at the time, I guess. I honestly don't know. I think even at that time I was wondering. But yeah, I'm skipping those routes. Admittedly, at this point, we're at level 60. We are probably on par with the Elite Four with just their Charizard. So, we don't need, like, anything on that route we're going to beat, right? Because we're level 60. So, yeah, there you go. So at this point, it's just, and in this why am I doing this route? Because it's faster, admittedly. Yeah. So either way, I'll do that. I am gonna do the route after the cycling road. And then those, like, the guys down there. And then I'm not going from Fuchsia to get to Cinnabar. I'm taking the other route. Why? Because it's faster. And I'm probably not even going to be I'm probably going to be avoiding all those trainers. Because number one, as I mentioned, I don't need them. At least I don't think I'm going to need them. Like I said, if I need to do some level grinding once we get to Elite 4, then I'll go and face them. I don't think I'm going to need to, so I'm not going to. Plus, I don't know what it is about water routes. They just bother me so much. Like, I get so apprehensive. It's weird because I think I get more apprehensive about water routes than I do about cave routes. It's weird, you know? I mean, I guess technically, I don't know, I think mostly, I don't know, because, like, you have, like, the two ones here, you have Mount Moon and Granite Cave, so, and Mount Moon, you'd have to pretty much go through without rappels, so I don't know why those two ones don't bother me as much as water routes. I mean, it could be possibly that, again, since I started in gold version, so I like to see my character walking around and things like that, and so when he basically transformed into a Lapras, it was always a little weird. So I'm just like, I want to get back on the ground. Maybe that's part of it. I generally don't know. Oh, for those new to the stream, say hi in the chat. I have it pulled up on a separate thing, unfortunately. I'd love to get in here, but I haven't done a layout for this many episodes, so I'm just going to continue how I have it. So, yeah. Anyways, outside of that, so basically, for those who are new and starting this, the goal for this is I'm seeing which starter Pokemon is the best when it comes to that. My method of determination is, yes, I'm headed to Mr. Biker Man, but my method to determine that is, honestly, I'm just going to, like, I'm solo running, right? Because to me, like, it's, okay, granted, you have to remember that I am eventually at a, like, going to be high enough level that, like, even Ember can still take out these guys. So, you will have the level advantage, but, I don't know. Honestly, I did this back when I was a kid. Well, I didn't specifically, like, oh, I want to know which one's stronger. That wasn't my intention. I just, back when I was a kid, that's pretty much what I did. I think Emerald was the first time I really tried to have a full team. Because I know in Gold version, I pretty much just use my Typhlosion. I keep thinking I might have tried to use other Pokemon, but I just like Typhlosion, like, that much that I just kept using him. He was my first level 100. Eventually, my second one was Lugia, the spot I bought Gold, which is sad because I didn't come to the realization that I can save and then turn the system on and off to get a second try at the legendaries. So when I fought Ho-Oh, I accidentally O-code the Ho-Oh. That's a weird way to say that. But, and so because of that, I'm like, and I just saved and moved on. And I don't know why, like, I didn't comprehend at that time that I could just reset my game. For Lugia, I realized this, so which is why I did that. And how I got Lugia. But I didn't realize that for Ho-Oh, which is sad. Despite having Gold version, I did get a Ho-Oh. Yeah, my second level 100 was Lugia because he was already up there. The third one was actually a Scyther. Because I really like Scyther, and he was pretty cool. I didn't get another one until like on my gold version until like way later, when I was like a teenager or whatever. After I finally ended up getting me. Oh. Yeah, probably. Anyways, so when I was a teenager, I was trying to I like to narrow down because like sometimes it feels like my timeline of events can be a little spotty. So I use different things. Like I know definitively this thing happened and nothing happened. Like for example, I know definitively in 2006, I was playing gold version while going camping. How do I know this? Oh, and during that, I remember I was working on getting an Umbreon on the game. How do I know this? Because it was the worst camping trip ever. For me. Yeah, so it was crazy. So essentially, so first off, we turned out that we had a lovely hole in the tent. And so there's a hole in the tent, and it started raining, and I guess there's like a little hill we were on, so it went into the tent and basically flooded it. Thankfully we had cots. Like I think that was actually the first or second time we went camping with those cots, because before we always have just like a mattress or fluffy thing we jig on the ground. I think that was the first or second time we had using cots. And so because of that, yeah, it flooded us it raised up to just below where the cot was. And because I remember I was playing Pokemon Go at the time. I know I kind of got off on this crazy side trail. Hopefully I can remember what I was talking about to begin with. But alright, I was talking about my level 100s. Anyway, so I get back to that once I finish this. So what happened was, anyways, so because of that, either way, it eventually stopped raining. It eventually stopped raining, and then so the thing was all muddy. They made us try to, bail it out. Then I know it was me, and I don't care what my brother and our sister say, it was me who suggested that we throw away the tent. I know this because I remember they yelled at me for that. My parents, by the way. Because just for suggesting it. Granted, might have been some other things with it, but either way, it was just, we ended up getting sent home. And yeah, it was specifically my birthday. So yeah, and more specifically, it was my 16th birthday. So yeah, happy sweet 16 for me. That's not very nice. Anyways, either way. So the reason why I was thinking that is because I think I started playing red version because by that point, maybe. I didn't get, I started with gold version. Not counting Pokemon Stadium, which is a story in itself. So I started with gold version, and then eventually I got Ruby, Sapphire, FireRed, Leaf Green, moving on. I didn't get red version until, I got red, blue, and yellow all at the same time. I think I got crystal. No, I got those three, and then crystal and silver separately or something like that. I got all these when I was a teen. I'm pretty sure it was before Diamond and Pearl. Mostly because I don't remember it. And I do remember having fun going... Whoa. Drop my controller. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Anyways, so... because I remember I went back and I started playing the Stadium games. because I remember I had fun with that, and I didn't get Diamond and Pearl, or more specifically Diamond, until the DS. I mean, until 2008. So, anywho, which is another story in itself, but maybe I'll get into talking about some of these random things. But back to my level 100s. Also, I have to keep in mind, I didn't have the XP share. See, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just wanted to keep the red scale that you got, because I thought it was something fancy, or, like, important. So there's that. But, yeah, I wanted to, yeah, like I said, I wanted to keep the, that, or I got the experience share and I might have accidentally gotten rid of it. Like I said, it has been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Either way, so basically I switched trains to all these guys. Eventually, when I got red, blue, and yellow, I did the infinite, I did the infinite rare candies thing with Missing No. And that's essentially how I got it. So, because of that, I was able to get a level 100, and I started I mostly filled out the rest of my team, in quotes, with Kanto Pokemon because of that. Well, obviously, I know I didn't, I don't know, maybe, I don't remember what level that Umbreon is, or was. Sadly, I no longer have the save file. But, yeah, those are my first 3 level 100s. Anyways, so after that, so back to the other story, to when I said I did this as a kid. So whenever I played Fire and Leaf Green, I started with FireRed. I picked Charizard because he was on the cover, funny enough. I want to say I heard some weird thing that if you pick, like, I don't know if I actually heard it, or it was a random theory that I thought of, to where if you picked the starter that was on the cover, you actually got a boost. Like some kind of like attack boost or something like that for your Pokemon. I don't know where I heard it. I was positive I heard it. I don't know. I don't know how that went, but either way, that's the reason why I picked it. Admittedly, because he was on the cover. Granted, I think I did. This was at the time where I did prefer Charizard over the others. So there's that. Anyways, so because of that, essentially, I ended up just using Charizard to the entire thing. When I played Leaf Green, I picked Venusaur and attempted to do the same thing. Why did I stop? Because of Team Rocket. I got so tired of how long the battles took or whatnot that I eventually, because I remember, like, but because I had an experience share, no. Anyways, so because I had an experience share, what happened was I had a second Pokemon on my team that I was doing that. So that way, like, by the time I finished the game, I would have two teammates. I used Farfetch'd for the one for Leaf Green. I do remember that. The reason why I remember that is because I started using it more often because I got so tired of how long it was taking to take out all these other these other Pokemon, you know? It became such a hassle that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use my stinking Farfetch'd. I never did do a Blastoise only run, but that's what I remember from back in the day. And just logically looking back, yeah. So, like, Venusaur, you're going to have a Grass-type move, which is either first Vine Whip, then Razor Leaf. Not a bad move, except for the fact that You see this bird? There are a lot of these birds. And there's a lot of grass types. And know if when it kicks off like that, if it actually affects the stream or not. And by kicks off like that, you probably don't know what I'm talking about if it doesn't do anything to the stream. But essentially, my computer computer screen tries to enter sleep mode because it doesn't think there's anything going on, because I mean, the controller is going on that. You think that from streaming it would block it from going to sleep mode, but it don't. Anyways, so there's a lot of birds, a lot of flying types, a lot of poison types, and some grass types and things like that. All things, a lot of it resists my lovely grass poke starter that can basically only learn that. And what's the other move? Cut? Yeah, cut. Cut is the strongest, yes. I don't know if it changed in other generations, but at least in these two games, Cut is stronger than Tackle. By like 10 points, but it's still stronger. And so, those are your strongest moves that you could get until Giovanni. Then you can get Earthquake, and Venusaur can learn Earthquake, funny enough. But, yeah, you don't get it. And by Giovanni, I mean Gym Leader Giovanni. Not the other two times you face him. So, yeah. That's how you get Earthquake, by beating the gym. You don't get Body Slam, because they replaced that with, wow, my brain is braining. They replaced it with the move Brick Break, that's it. Yeah, they replaced it with Brick Break. Which is sad. Or you can eventually get Body Slam on one of the islands. Which, if I remember right, I keep thinking one of them you can get from 2 Island and the other one from 4 Island. So one is post-game. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the lovely thing about how, and then, what about poison type moves? Oh, if you want an actually offensive poison type move, you can get, what was it? Dang it. I can't remember the name of it, but basically, it's a pretty good move, but you can't get it till post-game. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah, all of his decent moves you can't give him until you've pretty much beaten the game. Now, obviously, you get poison powder, things like that, and leech seed, but that's gonna take forever. It's not impossible, but it's gonna take forever. I suppose that shouldn't be really your metrics, but it kinda is for me. So most likely, when I do my Venusaur run, my moveset is going to be Cut, Razor Leaf, I wonder with those if they don't count your steps when you're inside. But, yeah, so Cut, Razor Leaf, probably gonna go Sleep Powder and Leech Seed. And that's it. Yeah. It kinda sucks. As stupid as this is. Oh, for those who are hunting Chanseys and stuff, this is a good way to make sure that they only show up. I forget exactly what level they show up. You'd have to look that up. But yeah, basically, that area I was in over there, just find a good corner and just kind of go back and forth. Because, yeah, if you basically do like the move... Oh. if you do like this, it actually doesn't count it as a step. So yeah. So yeah, that's why Venusaur is going to be sad because of that. I'm trying to think of some other fun stories and whatnot. Alright, so while I'm headed that way, oh, what else? So, anyways, so when it came to, one, oh, this is where you find your teenie. God, like, here's the thing. Once you get to this part, you're good. I think it requires at least a good rod, which I don't have. Yeah, just stand here and just fish. Like, it doesn't count towards your steps. And you can actually get to this spot by, like, I think if you go enter, like, if you enter it, but you have to have surf. So enter, head to the left section, and then head up. And you'll get to the spot quicker. But yeah, the pond right outside where you get, this is HM Surf, right? Yeah. Cool. I don't know if I can use surf right now. But, yeah. Because I think you need Fuchsia's badge to use surf. Let's see. Nope. Alright, cool. Oh. I am glad I glanced over there. I'm actually kind of glad I can't use, because I was about to head straight there. I completely forgot you have to grab those teeth. I think in this area is where Kangaskhan is. Because, like, they show up in two separate areas. One of them at 1%, the other one at 5%. That one area I said to find Chansey, that's its 5% area. Also, when it comes to the whatever, don't try to use bait or rocks. Just chuck a Pokeball or the Safari Ball. As I mentioned, I'm allowed to catch Pokemon, I just can't use them in battle. Okay, now I'm curious. Okay, we have 10 steps. 1. Oh, they do count. Fun. I'll talk to this guy. Okay, interesting. It's not really it's not really a like a spot you can rest or whatnot. That's lame. Not really a rest house if it still counts your steps. And we'll cut through here. Literally. I felt like there's so many of my, like... Because let's see. So, Jin... Okay. Well, I guess I could randomly go on a story adventure while we're randomly kind of almost wrapping this up. Yeah, I'll catch that. Remind me, chat, to go grab that strength. To go grab strength. There's like little bitty little things. It's funny enough. It's actually a little bit harder to see when it's zoomed in like this. But if you look at the four corners of the tile, you can see little white dots. But I need strength. So anyways, story time. The first Pokemon game I actually played was Pokemon Stadium. We got it with the, we got it with like a bundle. Yeah. Yeah, like we actually got the bundle that came with Pokemon Stadium. So we got Pokemon Stadium, 2 controllers, and the N64. That was fun. Yeah. We played that as a lot. What's funny enough, I think the first Pokemon product I remember actually getting were those Lunchables. And we actually, like, cut out the like, how they had, like, all 151 or 50 Pokemon on the back. You could cut them out, whatever. And on the back of those, they actually had little, like, where actually, they actually showed, like, this is where you find them and a couple of different stats like that on there. And it still remembers... Back for some reason, because you have to remember, this was back, most of the shows that I watched, the name of the show was named after the main character. So because of this, you see Pikachu all over the place, so he's clearly a main character. So, when I actually, so, what's funny enough is, you know, so when I actually had him, I remember I picked up the Pikachu one, and he's like, look, I got Pokemon! As in, because I thought Pikachu's name was Pokemon. I didn't know it was called Pikachu until I finally read it. Some time, like probably like days or something like that. I actually probably looked at the thing like, oh, I'm wrong. It's not called Pokemon. He's called Pikachu. And he's a Pokemon, you know. So yeah, we had Stadium for a while. Okay, here's the interesting thing. I actually got Stadium and Gold version at the same time. Why? Well, because I was with my parents doing shopping things, and we happened to be in the game aisle, and we talked to this employer guy, and they're like, hey, which is actually kind of interesting to me because like my siblings weren't there, and the fact that they actually, like my parents actually let me pick out something that and I actually got and not my siblings. I never think about that. That's kind of strange to me, especially with this the next part of the story. Either way, so he told me that you could play Gold version and stuff on Pokemon Stadium, like through the Game Boy Tower. I don't think he specifically said the Game Boy Tower or whatever, but like he said you could play it on there. So I picked Gold version. Why? Because at the time Gold was my favorite color. Admittedly, I think like the Gold Ranger, who's a pretty cool dude, you know, watched a lot of Power Rangers. Though we didn't see as many Zeo. I don't remember watching it that much, but I do remember I seen him, and I thought Zeo was pretty cool being Gold Ranger. And so at the time, Gold was my favorite color. That's why I picked Gold version. Funny enough, if I would have picked it now based on my color, it would have been red, and I wouldn't have had the rest of this problem. But I do kind of wonder what would eventually have happened. As you get to hear it for the rest of the story. So, Christmas came, we got the thing, I tried to get the Gold version to work, didn't work. Turns out you need a Game Boy for Game Boy Color. Yes, fun fact, Gold and Silver worked on the original Game Boy. It was Pokemon Crystal that was exclusive to the Game Boy Color. So, I was sad. And unfortunately, my parents told me that I would not be able to get a Game Boy until my birthday. So, what's this? Yeah, it was 7 months later. Yeah, my birthday's in July. No, thank you. I do not want Fire Spin. So, finally, I get to my birthday, and I get a Game Boy Color, and I have it for, I don't know how long, but eventually... See, here's the thing, admittedly. So, I don't know the exact turn of events. But I think at one point, I lost the cartridge. Right? So, I actually lost the cartridge. And I couldn't find it, and I eventually found it. Then later, I lost the Game Boy Color. Yeah, it was in that order. First the cartridge, then the Game Boy Color. However, I actually didn't lose it, like, I don't know what happened the first time. It's possible I generally just did lose it, because, funny enough, sometime after I got, like, my Pokemon Ruby version, I actually did lose it again. Yeah, like, I literally lost it. Like, misplaced it. And I eventually found it later. Even though, admittedly, because of the rest of us... Huh, it's a gym badge. Fun. But, yeah, I need to grab the guy on the left. I wonder how often I actually fight this guy now that I think about it. Because I usually just start up the right. Huh. Anyways, so that's anyways, so either way, I found out that my parents were the ones responsible for taking my Game Boy Color. They told me, because I had to wait till Christmas, so I think I played the game maybe like a few days at most, because I remember. Because then I lost the Game Boy. I found it, played it for like a day or two, then suddenly my Game Boy Color went missing. Turns out, like, you have to remember, I was a kid. I was completely freaking out. It's not like they didn't know it. Turns out, my parents were the one who took it. Didn't tell me. They just took it because they're like, oh, it's unfair that you have one and your siblings don't. They didn't ask for one. In fact, their birthdays were before my birthday. And they knew what I wanted for my birthday. So it's not like they couldn't have gotten one. Either way, they got one for Christmas, and I got mine back that Christmas. So, yeah, I pretty much had to wait a full year after getting Pokemon Gold before I could really play it. Not counting, like, the couple of days I actually got to play it. Yeah, I was kind of... I probably was a little addicted to it, which... It's something where, like... I was into other games, you know, because like some of the big ones was like more like Super Mario Brothers, Yoshi's Island, Jet Force Gemini, you know. I really enjoyed these games. I'd say probably Mario Brothers 3, and then like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which, funny enough, it's the only original Nintendo game I've ever beaten, and thus is my favorite. Which is funny because I remember. My half-brother, when he'd come over, he wouldn't let me play with him because he thought I'd hold him back, yet, because, you know, he's like, he was a lot older than me, but it's funny, I can actually beat it, but, anyways, that's a different story. So, maybe I should play through that game sometime for my lovely channel. So, anyways, moving on to my thing. But because of that, I think Pokemon was... I think part of the reason why is... One of the differences between Pokemon and all the other ones was you got to play as you. Like, Mario, you're playing as Mario and or Luigi. Yoshi's Island, you're playing as a Yoshi. Jet Force Gemini, you're playing as those guys. But for Pokemon, I mean, yeah, you're only having the name, but that made a huge difference for me as a kid. And... Oh no, I'm poisoned. Figured I'd make a random comment on that. But, because... yeah, so again, back in the day, that stuff happened. So, yeah, would I have potentially eventually gotten another game that would have just gotten me as hyped? Because I played other games that let you play it, like, for example, Tony Hawk Underground 2 for PlayStation sometime later. PlayStation 2, to be honest. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for PlayStation 2. You also can't, like, I also did, like, I played, like, The Sims and things like that, because we'd played a lot of essentially what would call make-believe. You know, pretending we're like a hero or whatever. But like ours were practically LARPing. I say practically LARPing because, I mean, as in we got pretty in depth and not just I'm the hero, you're the villain. Gah! Like my brother, he'd come up with so many storylines and things like that. Which, FYI, my half brother and brother are not the same person. I only say that to help differentiate the two without actually saying their name. And admittedly, my half brother and sister, because I also have a whatever brother. I can't even say like older brother and younger brother because both my brother, like both of them are older than me. Unlike my two sisters, which half sister's older. The other reason is because I actually didn't grow up with them. They were kind of in another house. So, yeah. Oh, wait. Man, chat, I told you to remind me. No one reminded me. Gotta go get strength. And by that, I mean, well, I don't think anyone's in the chat right now. So that's sad. But it is fine. Oh, he was in this one, right? Like, no. Oh, hey, look. Fisher guy. So yeah, if you want to, make sure you grab that from him, and then you can go and catch your team. I won't be in this game, because, you know. Thank you for strength. I did. So, either way. So, okay, as I said, it is something where I do kind of wonder, like, what would have been different, you know? I'd love to keep Body Slam, but it makes the most sense to replace that. So, yeah, that's just some... Because, like, anyways, so yeah, I played The Sims 2, things like that. And like I said, like, we had some crazy, like... My brother was basically, like, a little storyteller and things like that. And... We did a lot of stuff, which is... definitely interesting. And so when I was able to actually play that in video game form, again, it made a pretty big difference. Yeah. I guess I can go home and do this. I feel like I'm going all the way to the Pokemon Center. So, either way, yeah. I'm just gonna deposit my items. I love how, like, in the Japanese version, that looks different. It's fun. I don't need these. Or those. Or that. Didn't mean to take that one. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. Don't know why got rid of that. Yeah, I can technically give him back, but yeah. So either way, yeah. It's definitely interesting. You know that. No, where was I? Oh yeah. So, like I said, it started with Pokemon. Would I have become a gamer from some other series? It's plausible, you know, because as I said, like, I played a lot of other games, but like this is also, I'd say, probably the very first game I actually beat. Well, not this game, Pokemon Gold version. As I mentioned, I am skipping all of them. Dang it. Almost got him. Skipped the ball. So, all of them except this guy. Oops. Oops. Oh, but it still went through. But, okay, let's see. So then, eventually, I got Ruby version. I believe it was that Christmas. Yeah, because I got it with I got a Game Boy Advance. Thankfully, my siblings also got a Game Boy Advance at the same time. They got some other games. I got... when I got mine, I got Pokemon Ruby, and then Metabots Metabee EX or something like that. My brother got the Kakashi or Kabuto or whatever that other guy was called. The guy with like the sword that was like his kind of his rival or whatever. I always remember this place always kind of drive me crazy. Now I just like I can just use repels and I can run. Did my repel run off? Must have. Because that's a level 32 Weezing. I'm trying to remember the order you need to do this. Like I said, I don't play these games all that often anymore. Let's see. Yeah. So I got anyway. So I ended up getting Ruby version with that. I believe the following Christmas is when I got. I think the following Christmas I got Sapphire. I keep thinking that I got Sapphire, FireRed, and Leaf Green, maybe? Or maybe I didn't. Or maybe it was my birthday I got Sapphire. Trying to remember, it kind of sucks. Either way, eventually, in whatever year that XD Gala Darkness came out, I got that for Christmas along with a GameCube, which was actually only my GameCube. So, yeah, there's a whole turf war on, you're not allowed to touch my stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, having a console that was just mine was pretty cool. Not counting our handhelds up to that point. But yeah, I specifically got it for Pokemon XD Gala Darkness, which is why, to me, it's actually perfectly fine that that one came out first. Which, if I ever get a Switch 2, maybe I'll do a run of, like, shift to doing that one for my main things. The only thing for my challenge runs. The only problem is kind of the same problem I have with the fact that it's on NSO. Is I can't really save my team. Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, like, I get to save the video, but I can't actually save the Pokemon I use. So, that's a little disappointing. But, admittedly, it's probably going to be a little bit nicer to play it on that instead of on my GameCube. So, fun. Yeah. But I also don't have a Switch 2 yet, so. I'd say the other reason why they went over that one over the other one is because the biggest problem with that is, even right now, like, you could, like, first off, at the very least with that one, there's less to do once you complete the game, because they removed all the Coliseum challenges and the separate Coliseum modes and that one battle, Mount Battle type thing that was separate from the story mode. They removed that in XD, so it's practically just its own solo thing, which is why it's just, I'm saving because I don't want to have to track all the way back up here if I get the wrong one. Alright, run, cool. Either way, so the whole point was because of that. Now, there is one spot, which is the Ori Coliseum, which, yeah, you're not getting through that, which is a basic playthrough team. Like, they have, like, crazy strategies in that one. Which is why, like, even I was just trying to, like, I was trying to get the lucky egg. And you have to beat the first round. Or, like, the first, like, set of whatever. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even get to Lorena. I don't remember how I did it the first time, because I did it on my original save file. For all I know, cheating was involved. I don't know. But yeah. So save your Earthquake TMs. You only get one. And there's no way to get another one. And you just happen to use it on the Pokemon. Hey, I like this Pokemon. Let me put it on this one. And then later it's like, oh, well, now I can't. Now it's... Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button again. Like I said, I like to use the cross pad for the menus. If you decide, hey, let me teach this Pokemon Earthquake. You know, it can learn it. But, oh, that means now it's impossible to get the one thing, which is where the problem is. And even if you do, like even with EV training and stuff like that, you can't reset it in those games. Especially in Coliseum, it's even worse because you don't even get access to the other ones. So part of me is hoping that maybe they have some way to get other Pokemon added to it or something. I doubt it, but maybe that's why they're stalling? I don't know. But yeah, that's still the same problem I have with Stadium. Even though I think it's worse with Coliseum because of the fact that you can easily soft lock yourself on that one simply by simply by giving a Pokemon the wrong move at a time, which could help that Pokemon, but doesn't mean it's the best competitively for these Coliseums and stuff. You know, and you could teach it, like you can teach a Magikarp Hydro Pump, but that doesn't mean it's still not a Magikarp. I am actually, you know what? I'm going to skip the island stuff. Mostly because I don't feel like doing it. So I'm going to skip it. So yeah, I'm just going to skip it. Granted, this is probably going to be the game I use to, like, hold all my extra Pokemon. Because once I get done here, I'm going to switch it over to my other, Yeah, I'll switch it over to my other console, so any Pokemon I want to keep, I'll save it that way. And as of right now, strange, this is not as bad as I remember it being. It's funny, because it's not like I probably played through it like a few months ago. Maybe it's because I have repels right now. No, like I didn't have repels with. I don't know. I think it's usually when I play it, I don't. Oh, no. God. Remember the dumb thing over here? So, by the way, yeah, so it's. Anyways, it's interesting and all that fun stuff. So the next game would be. Anyways, so yeah, so I guess those set of games wasn't that bad. I remember I remember then I got a DS. Oh, I also got Emerald whenever I got it. Oh, right, never mind. I forgot. There was a big problem with that one, so I guess it skips a generation. Or, I don't know. So I got Pokemon XD Gale Darkness, and I believe I already said this on this channel, which a lot of these I probably already did anyways. But what happened? Oh, you know, basically the GameCube decided that it was like, I found out memory cards were a thing. Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, so I found out memory cards were a thing, which made me sad. So, I could keep playing it and playing it. I remember being so sad. I remember getting so far. I'm like, oh, hey, Mom, Dad, can you finally get me one? I think they were only like $10 or something. I don't know. Yeah, I had that. I don't know why I talked to this guy. So I had Pokemon XD, Sonic Mega Collection, and this is because I think my brother had Sonic Advance 3 for the Game Boy Advance, and that's when I really started getting into Sonic. So I eventually got the Mega Collection for that. It came with Smash Bros. Melee. And I had X-Men Legends. And I think that's all the games I had until I finally got a memory card. Either way, eventually got a memory card, was able to play. Yay! Let's see, what else? What other fun tidbits? Anyway, so after that, eventually I got a DS. I'm pretty sure it was for a birthday or Christmas. But then I got Pokemon Diamond, which was the only game I had on my DS for a bit. So maybe I don't remember exactly. I remember when I got my DS, it was on a class trip that we had to a mall. Like the Mall of America, if you know what that is. So, which would have been, yeah, I think that was our senior class trip too, which is the crazy thing. We went to Mall of America for the senior class trip. Yeah, because I remember we stayed overnight or something. I don't know. That's when I picked up Diamond version. Then I was going to get out of it. So I moved on. That's actually... Then I ended up selling my Fire and Leaf Green. I almost had my Emerald version stolen from me. Yeah. What else? Then, eventually, I got back into it. We got Diamond version, got Pearl, then eventually Platinum. I didn't really skip any games after that. I guess in Gen 4. I mean, not Gen 5. This is actually next. Yeah, I remember I got a DSi when I got Black and White, which is kind of fun to think about. Anyway, so I got DSi when I got black and white. Oh, actually, no. Specifically, I got white version because at the time I liked Zekrom more. Now I actually think I like Reshiram more, but at the time I liked Zekrom more. And then I got black too because of Zekrom, funny enough. And the funny thing about that one is I did the memory link thing, but because I had JC as both of my character names, it was always so funny. They're like, hey, it's JC. Like, man, I remember back when JC did this, but I'm right here. Like, no one, they didn't even acknowledge we had the same name. Which is just funny to me. I didn't get... Stupid timeout. We're back, I think. Anyways, so yeah, so either way, I eventually got, anyways, so I got black, I got white too. I think I got a 3DS as a late birthday present. Which I think I got, yeah, I know, I think I got my 3DS actually before X and Y, but funny enough, I actually got it when I got my white 2. And so I was able to do Dream Radar. I also got Dream Radar, like Pokemon Dream Radar, which is kind of funny. That's why it's like, it's weird. ZA is the first Pokemon game, or main series Pokemon game. I didn't have the latest version of whatever console was out that you could play it on. Which is funny. Yeah, because I got the 3DS when White 2 and Black. I mean, when I got White 2, because you could use it, like, so I have access to Dream Radar. I eventually got X and Y, of course. I don't think there's any controversy with those. Oh, right. I got Pokemon Battle Revolution when I got my Wii. That was, like, the main reason why I wanted to get it. Funny enough. I also picked up Mario Party whenever I got it, because I'm like, well, I'll have one game I want, and then Mario Party for everyone. With everyone, so I could play with other people. I keep thinking there was a third game I got, but I know for sure I got those two. I did get a Wii U, but that was... I actually got Skylanders with that game, and they never actually had a proper Pokemon game, like a main series / stadium game. Which was, I don't know why, because they're like, oh, well, we always, like, the reason why they stopped after X and Y was because they said, oh, well, it's like, oh, well, like, the reason for that is so that people can see their Pokemon in 3D, and since the games are 3D, like, okay, cool, but what about Gen 5? They weren't 3D. Where's their stadium game? But, yeah, that's meh. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I got X and Y at the same time. Same thing with Sun and Moon, got them at the same time. Same thing with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So really, it's not as interesting after that, you know. I got it when it came out. Yeah, actually, I think the other one that I think I got separately, and yes, I'm recognizing I'm facing blame, was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. At first, I didn't want them. I just didn't care enough. But I think I eventually picked it up just... I think it's mostly just so I could have something to do. I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember. I started playing it, and then Arceus came out, so I stopped to play Arceus. And yes, that is a joke. So I stopped to play that game, and then I later came back. It's some time later. Funny, even Let's Go Eevee. I had it since it came out, but I didn't finish my Let's Go Eevee until I want to say late last year, like a few months ago. Just because I don't know. I think it's just the mechanics of the game. I just don't... Yeah, I've only played through it twice. The Let's Go games. Once each. I attempted to try to play another version, even though I don't know why I tried. Well, I think it's because there's on another console. That's why. Or maybe I thought I had finished Eevee. It's also possible. So yeah. That was story time. Okay, Blaine's bait. Despite the fact that it's like minutes to midnight. Ha ha ha, that's a song. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to finish this today. Well, not today. It's like this session, since it's gonna be past midnight. At the very least, I'd like to get to the Elite Four. Hello, Bill. Not right now. Alright, cool. I remember the first time I did that, I was so paranoid. I'm like, let me get to a Pokemon Center! I'll do that some other time. Probably not on camera, since I'm probably only going to do that so I can keep this as like... This is just going to be my... Let's send all my Pokemon there that I want to keep. From Leaf Green, I should clarify, since, you know... Can't play it on 2 games at the same time. Same thing for Leaf Green, it'll be basically the opposite, you know. All the Pokemon I want to keep from FireRed. When I play it. Alright. Yeah. Let's face off against this guy. All these guys. I wonder what level I'll get by the time I get to Elite Four. I think I'll get to level 70. So I do still kind of wonder... Oh my goodness, I just realized they're not going down in one hit anymore. Me? Interesting how they're starting to catch up. Yeah, you don't see them withdraw their Pokemon that often. I'm like, what's with all the rock types? And I remembered, oh yeah, this is the ground gym. Actually, I think I kind of changed my mind a little bit on what I was going to do. Mostly because I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded. That's not good. So, I'll do this, beat Giovanni, and that's where I'll stop. Save. Yeah, oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Metal Claw is not 100% accurate. Which means it's 50% accurate. might not be able to do this in all in one shot like the others. Alrighty. I don't know. I feel like I told most of my major, like, Pokemon stories. There was another one where I tried to join this, so on top of roleplay, I mean, on top of Pokemon, I also like to do, like, roleplays and things like that. Think of it like D&D, except text-based, and it's not like the D&D systems or anything. Oh, snap. Either way, so I like doing that, and I was part of the server, and where you connect with people to do one-on-one role plays, and I was gonna get this one Pokemon one, and a bunch of stuff happened. I'm probably gonna stop that there. Yeah, I think it's more like God was telling me, no, don't do that one. It is definitely interesting. Which, speaking of God, I am considering maybe starting to do a Christian-based podcast type thing. Just kind of something my pastor mentioned that maybe I could try doing. Might be interesting. As for dailies, I haven't really been doing them because I just haven't cared about recording them. Wait, yeah. Like, you get so, like, there's a lot of times where, like, when I do them, I like to, like, watch something or whatnot while I'm doing them. So, which is why it kind of makes it a little bit harder for me to just get through them. But if you guys are interested in it, I might fully pick it back up. But yeah, the fact that they can take up to 2 hours just to do something, and sometimes, like, I don't care as much about if I miss it, I miss it. Yeah, the new set of Pokemon, of the Pokemon cards are out, so I get those, so those are nice. It's weird. I'm still 30 above these guys. And they're not going down in one hit. 30 levels above these guys. Anyways, as I said, thinking about doing, more Christian-based podcasts, talk about Jesus and God's Word and all that fun stuff, and what I'm learning today and all that stuff. Yeah. As for other channel stuff, I don't know. Like I said, after this, I've already gotten to the point where the ZA Shiny Lock thing, I'm waiting until home support comes out to really continue it. Plus, I think it's just because I'm just kind of burnt out with all the, with the shiny stuff, that when I finally got it, and this game is more relevant, because the other reason why I kind of shifted to playing this. Because I was like, oh, I really want to do that. After this, I'm considering doing a, like, once I complete this, like, I'm going to do this run, and the Venusaur solo run, then a Blastoise solo run. Once I've done those two, I'm going to compile it into, like, a video and things like that. And then that'll be fun. Wonder who else subscribed to me. I have 29 subscribers as of now. And I don't have 29 friends, so I know that's not from them. Huh. It'd be cool if I can get 50 subscribers, then I can, like, stream from my phone. Don't know what I'll do with it necessarily, but that's an option. There's a time that makes me think that riding a bike makes the poison go faster. But it could just because, like, you're clearing the tiles quicker, so I don't think it does. So it feels like it, though. Alright. After that, we'll see what happens. If we have home support, I might go ahead and go back to the shiny lock. Though I might also do the next thing, which I kind of want to do. Granted, I already know it's going to take a minute to do because I want to do a no damage challenge. And I already know, towards the beginning, it's going to be difficult-ish. Because, I mean, like, not impossible, but, yeah. Then, after that, I want to work within the mid-game, for sure. Like I said, we just started knocking them out left and right, so I'm not as worried about that. And obviously, by this point, again, things aren't going down in one hit anymore. So, that's a little bit, yeah. But I also might try to take on some more of those trainers. And we'll see how easy or hard the Elite Four gets to be. Because I know that can be a little bit of a eek type thing, you know? So yeah, stuff going on in my church. Not too much. We started a men's group the other day, in the other month. Or more specifically, we continued the men's group. Because I think it's started up. Or maybe it's just, yeah. Anyways, it's been kind of fun. The last time we went golfing. Well, mini golfing. The first time was a trivia night. The second time was a breakfast, which was amazing. And then I think the next time is going to be a board game night of some kind. You know, in June we're going to go see a baseball game. You see the Cardinals doing Cardinal things. It's gonna be fun. We have a Zoom Bible study, which is pretty cool. It basically happens. Yeah, it's essentially like Monday through Friday. My brother is currently running that right now. Also got a lovely finance class that I've been going to. Those are on Tuesdays. Why am I doing the schedule? I don't know. Hey, if you're in the area, I guess I'd have to say the area, but yeah, I go to Victory Christian Center, and there's a lot of Victory Christian Centers. They did have a YouTube, but we kind of stopped. Will we be coming? Will we be going back? Don't know, but yeah. So I was helping with that. Currently, I've just been working the back, like the little screens and showing scriptures on it, things like that for that thing. That's my biggest thing I've been doing. Really, I started doing that. Because before that, I was primarily working on the camera, but then we ended up stopping that, and so now I've been working, yeah. Because, yeah, the person that was back there, she kind of went on some kind of vacation type thing, and who knows when she'll be back. It's okay. So, definitely looking forward to that. I've also been helping with the media team, which mostly, you know, just picking out. Mostly what we've been doing is primarily, it was including recording stuff, but like I said, we kind of stopped that for now. But on top of that, it's mostly just picking out music and stuff. And which reminds me that this week is my week, so yay. So that's always fun. Yeah, I get to play like the little bongos, which is definitely an interesting thing with that one, because that was an interesting story. Cause so like, as we take on the leader of Team Rocket for the last time. So, one of the things, so when I was a kid, one thing I do a lot, and I still kind of do it, but not as much as I used to, is I like to just drum on things. You know, have you ever seen something like just drumming? And even like when we started band, I actually got into percussion, which was fun. So, that's not nice. Anyways, so either way, I eventually got into percussion, and so I played like basically drums, like snare drum, bass drum, etc. That's what I did. But outside of that, like, I don't know, it's weird because like sometimes I just like start jamming, like I just start hitting things, and it was always weird because it didn't feel like your typical kind of drum set-ish thing, like, because I had a mixture of that, what I refer to as like a main instrument, like for example guitar, trumpet, piano, like things that basically like you're the main one outside of like the chorus. Level 50, man, they jumped up hot quickly. So I might start having to use items in battle. Whew. So, and one thing like I did, like I drum like on a desk and things like that. A lot of people got annoyed. Either way, so our pastor, she bought these set of bongos, like the bongo drums, and she's like, she's just like, she needed them. It's like she knew that she was buying them for someone, and you're getting flamethrowed. Oof. So she knew she was buying them for someone, and so they was there for a long time. A couple of different people. Let's go for it. So anyway, it's a couple of people, different people. They play, like, they messed around with it. I remember I kept getting this urge because, like, I liked the idea of them and I wanted to actually play them. Eventually, one day, like, the Holy Spirit was kind of knocking. It's like, hey, hey, hey. And so I went back and talked to her, and so essentially I'm like, you know what, I believe the Holy Spirit's telling me, hey, I can go do that, but I don't, like, I can't get myself to go do it. And she's like, well, just, I forget exactly how it went, but encouraging stuff. And eventually I started that, and I've pretty much been doing that just about every time now. There's the earthquake I mentioned. So yeah, so during praise and worship we have that. We'd love to get an actual, like, praise and worship team again. We had one for a while. Yeah, so we had one, like, this big one, and sadly recently the main lead person who did that, he passed away. I think like a week or two ago. Like, days blur together sometimes, but like, it's funny because, like, a lot of the songs that I remember and I hear in my head, I hear him singing it, and it's sad he's passed away. But either way, eventually I think what happened was slowly it became just him and a guitar, and then he kind of retired, if you will. Then eventually someone else picked it up for a bit, but then he eventually left. Mostly because he was, like, he did a lot of touring and stuff. And yeah. So we'd like to get back to have a live praise and worship team. Like, even at this point, just like me, like it's like your main instrument, like guitar or piano, which we have someone who could play a piano. Debate if I should use wing attack or slash. I don't like that. That is scary. That's Oko with a stinking hydro pump. Or water gun. Let's see how much that does. Yeah, hydro pump is scary. Because he's going to have hydro pump. And water gun's already a 3-hit KO. I switched to slash and hopefully to hope I can get a critical hit. So, man. Oh, great. Like, why didn't you do? Like, why didn't you go and take him? Because I didn't want to. Okay, well, there's my crit that I was needing. Yeah, Blastoise is, yeah. Oof. And then he's gonna come. Oh man, we're gonna get intimidated before we hit Blastoise, aren't we? Like, obviously he sent out Blastoise first, but like, doesn't he usually not? Like, doesn't he usually save him for last, or is that just like from red and blue? Because if that's true, man. Because, like, looks like we're gonna, or may, I don't know. Ooh, I am glad you calm mind and didn't just go for the attack. So this is basically, with us being 19 levels above them, his strongest is still Blastoise, right? Which is at like level 50. So, man. Fun fact, I used to misspell lose a lot and spelled it like loose. I did the 2-O. Because it makes an ooh sound. So, the ooh. Z. Not loose. Lose. Like, la. It still does the double O. It's like, oh, well, the other one clearly has a double O sound when the other one has a consonant E. Yeah, but so does loose. It has the random E. What's the E there for loose? It's like they just wanted to balance it out or whatnot. Anyways, as I said, I was going to just, I'm gonna save over here. Ooh, Mankey. Like, what about the Pikachu? I don't need the Pokedex right now. Alright. Tomorrow, possibly. Next time, more specifically, I am going to attempt to finish it. I say attempt because, yeah, my goal is to get through the Elite Four, and then, if possible, I mean, my goal is to get through Victory Road. That's what I meant. Through Victory Road, and if possible, complete the Elite Four. I say if possible because, yeah, we just saw the blue fight, and we were still 19 levels ahead of him, and he didn't have Hydro Pump yet. Like, the Rhydon not going down to Metal Claw is scary because Giovanni's didn't, and then Blastoise with Hydro Pump, and if he waits till last to send him out, oof. Yeah, that's scary. Either way, that's gonna be what I do. Is it possible? Yeah. It's possible. Ironically enough, Venusaur would have gone past Gym 8, not that without much difficulty. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, so that's it. We will see you next time, which I might do a stream. I'm considering doing a stream tomorrow because, yeah, I'm actually enjoying myself. Hopefully we can get it first try. It's still gonna be difficult. Dragon, like, sorry, I'm just kind of talking aloud. But, I'm not as worried about Lorelei because my flamethrower is going to be doing a lot of super effective, if not neutral. Bruno's Bruno, so he's not going to be difficult. Agatha, I'm not expecting too much difficulty. Oh, Agatha's going to suck with Venusaur. Because again, only Leaf. The only grass and normal type moves. Yeah, I just said I could get Earthquake now, but you only get one in the game, which is why if I feel like I have to use Earthquake, that is going to for Venusaur to be able to get past Agatha. Yeah, that's going to be a point loss. Anyways, Dragonite is going to be a thing. And then I'm mostly worried about Blue's Blastoise than I am the rest. Because if he does Rain Dance, Hydro Pump, As long as it's a 2-hit KO, so I can heal in between. As I said, yes, I'm using items. Anyways, so with that, that's the last fake ending I'm gonna do. So, take care.